Non-serial music, or atonality, started in the early parts of the 20th century, and a few composers were really integral to developing these styles. You can imagine that as the chromaticism of the 19th century and early 20th century chipped away at pitch and tonal centers, that tonality itself became abandoned altogether. And while atonality is one of the most important developments, it's pretty short-lived. So we could think about it as happening in the first 2 decades of the 20th century. And while we see spots of it throughout the century, the techniques that are developed will transfer over into serialism and other developments. Non-serial music is sometimes referred to as free atonality. This is different than what we're going to explore in serialism, which has a much more rigorous approach. And some of the characteristics of non-serial techniques include non-pitch-centric music, frequent unresolved dissonances, a variety of intervals known as mixed intervals, the utilization of the chromatic scale. Textures tend to be divergent and often contrapuntal, and the metric organization can be difficult to follow. There's a lot of terminology involved. So when we think about tonal music, we often refer to the idea of a motive, a short musical idea, and how it relates to small, medium, and large structures within any composition. This has different words that are used interchangeably throughout atonal music. Sometimes this is simply referred to as a cell, or more specifically, a basic cell. This can be referred to as a set or a pitch set. We'll also explore the idea of a pitch class set. And like we were working on with some of the different types of scalar collections, this is also a referential sonority. When we analyze atonality, we go through a process of segmentation. This seems so procedural, but we do this in tonal music too. You can imagine when you take a chord and the chord is inverted and you switch it around so that you can figure out what is the root of the chord, because that chord and its root relates to the larger scheme of tonal music. So this is about analyzing pitch attributes. Without a tonal center, how is the music segmented? What sort of intervals comprise the cell? When the cell is looked at as it appears in the music, what sorts of intervals and contours are revealed? What if the cell is dissected or rearranged? Like, think of the inverted chord, rearranged to determine the root. So we could think about a rearranged or an unordered cell versus an ordered cell as it appears in real music. Really, we are doing the same things that we do with tonal music when we look at atonal music. We seek to discover relationships that lie beneath the surface. Some of these are going to be terminology that will be used throughout and explained deeper as we move through these terms. So, octave equivalence. Octave equivalence means that a pitch, say C4 or a middle C, is equivalent but not identical to, say, C5 or C6. When we talk about atonal music, sometimes we don't need to know exactly what the octave is so much as we need to know what the pitch class is. So let's determine what's the difference between, say, a pitch and a pitch class. A pitch is a tone or a frequency. The note is C. That's a C4, for instance. Or a pitch class is a group of pitches by the same name. So all of the notes C, C1, C4, C6, C major, etc. An integer is what we're going to refer to as a whole number that relates to a pitch, or more specifically to a pitch class. Therefore, C, whether it's C4 or C6, is going to be 0. Likewise, E, no matter what its register will be 4, etc. Modulo 12 is a mathematical system for the 12 integers. So we think of 12-tone music, the semitones of the octave divide into equal semitones, and you could think of the clock face, because that is the easiest representation of 0 through 12, or 0 through 11, or 1 through 12. We will abbreviate this and refer to this as mod 12. Pitch space, we refer to this all the time in tonal music. It can refer to atonal music as well. Pitch space is the relationship between the pitches, while a pitch class space is the relationship between pitch classes. Let's roll up our sleeves a little bit and talk about the Mod 12 system. So looking at the clock face, we could see that 12 o'clock has been replaced with 0. We're going to imagine a fixed dose situation in which 0 is 12 or 0 is C, and that could be middle C, it could be really low C or really high C. Again, octave equivalent, C is going to be 0. If we go around the clock, we say 0, 3, 6, 9, and back to 0, we've got 0 is C, 3 is E flat, F sharp or G flat is 6, A is 9. The pitch classes that are circled here, C, E flat, G flat, A, or B double flat, form a fully diminished 7th chord, or stacking minor thirds. C to E flat minor third, E flat, G flat minor third, G flat, which is F sharp to A, is a minor third. This pattern thus represents an interval class of IC3, IC standing for interval class, and 3 being the interval of what we would call in pitch space a minor third. An IC4 chord would be 0 plus the interval class of 4, 0, 4, 8. Look at the pitches that creates. C, E, G sharp, or an augmented triad. In Mod 12, every time you go up 12 integers, you reset itself. You could think of this like you do your day. In 12 hours, it'll be the same time it is now, just PM or AM will change. This time differentiation is important to humans, not cats. Oh, look at that cutie. Another way you might think of this is the Mod 7 system, known as our week. A week from Wednesday is Wednesday. Pretty simple, right? Likewise, if you're on 3 and you're getting to 0, you could go up in pitch class space. Up 9 will get you up to 0. Or you could go down 3. 3 minus 3 takes you back down to 0. This is starting to get into the minutia of ordered and unordered pitch classes. And this will be the last thing that we discuss in this video. Let's talk about ordered and unordered pitch intervals. This is the way the music appears in the music, the way the composer put the notes on the page. For both ordered and unordered intervals, we're concerned with the distance between two pitches measured in semitones. For ordered intervals, direction and register matters, and it's often shown with the plus or the minus to indicate ascending or descending. For unordered pitch intervals, register still matters, but direction does not. So we lose the positive and negative signs around the number. You could see how this is shown in the Schoenberg String Quartet number 3 example here. So for instance, from B to B flat, when we look at the ordered pitch interval, it is a negative descending contour. For unordered, we just care that it's a semitone difference. From B flat up to C sharp, the second and third notes, that's an ascending contour of a minor third, here spelled as an augmented second. So it gets a +3 for ordered and just a regular 3 for unordered. Skip ahead and you can see that the interval from D5 to F6 gets a +15. So let's think about that. D5 to D6 is an octave, therefore it's a 12. From D to F, that's a minor third. The interval class for that is 3. 12 plus 3 is 15. So this goes outside of the octave. It's showing the register as a +15. When we're looking at the unordered pitch intervals, it's simply 15. Next, we're going to talk about ordered and unordered pitch class intervals. Now notice I've put some of these words in red in case you were comparing it to the ordered and unordered intervals. Remember, pitch class is devoid of register. So it is a note. It's a note no matter where it occurs. A C is a C no matter where it appears. An A is an A. If it's up or down from the C, it doesn't matter. So when we talk about ordered pitch class intervals, we have slightly different things that we're considering. It still matters what the distance is, but it's between two pitch classes, not just pitches, measured in semitones. We're going to consider ascending motion, clockwise motion, and we're going to consider descending motion, counterclockwise. So we're going to envision that mod 12. Mod 12 is going to eliminate the negative signs, and it's only going to show numbers going up the clock face. Some students find this rather confusing. Let's talk about this. Consider you're going from pitch class C sharp to pitch class A. Think of a circular clock face. C sharp, or pitch class 1, and A, or pitch class 9. Now, depending if it's going up from 1 to 9, that is an ascending 8. Or if it goes 1 backwards down to 9, that is a negative 4. Negative 4 and positive 8 are complements in the mod 12 system. In fact, we don't actually ever say positive 8. It would just be 8. When determining ordered pitch class intervals, we're going to use the formula y minus x mod 12. So to go from pitch class x to pitch class y, you're going to take y minus x and then put it in the mod 12 system. Let's try one. Let's say we want to go from A to C sharp. A, or 9, C sharp, and 1. A is x, C sharp is y. Y minus x means 1 minus 9. 1 minus 9 equals negative 8 times mod 12 equals 4. Remember, we're not going to have any negative numbers when we're talking about ordered pitch classes. Register doesn't matter so much. We're now only going to use positive numbers. Let's reverse that and say we want to go from C sharp to A, or 1 to 9. So C sharp in this case is x, A is y, 9 minus 1 is 8. In this situation, the ordered pitch class interval is 8. Unordered pitch class intervals are much easier. You just go with the smallest interval class. You no longer count upwards or downward, you just care about the smallest space between two pitch classes. That means you find the shortest route going either up or down. The formula is now either x minus y mod 12 or y minus x mod 12, whichever is smaller. And because we're using the mod 12 and we're looking for the smallest interval, the number will never be larger than 6 because these are all going to be complements. Much like when you invert a perfect fifth, you get a perfect fourth, a third becomes a sixth, the seventh becomes a second. The same works in mod 12. Ones are the same as 11. What is smaller? 1. Between interval class 2 and 10, you will choose a 2. Between 5 and 7, 5 is smaller. 6 is its own complement. That's the tritone. It divides the 12 tones perfectly even. So 6 is the largest interval. So our unordered pitch class intervals will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. This concludes our video on basic concepts and definitions into non-serial techniques. If you have any questions, please email me or watch the video again or visit me in a virtual office hour. Log into Blackboard to see the next homework assignment.